Countdown. Ooh, sound. Trading bell. Okay. Morning, Josh. I got my coffee too today. After Microsoft reports earnings, blows things away, and then for some reason the market takes down 7%. I need coffee. Okay, let me just pull up my. I wake up to this sound. Move that over there. Yeah, Meta's for sale. Morning, Wendy. I'll just, honest to God, I for me, I gotta claim this back. I was working on my laptop. For me personally, I will say that core investments, there we are. I think Meta under $700 is a steal. I think Microsoft, if it gets down towards, Lord knows what Amazon, I wouldn't be buying anything, honestly, until we hear from Amazon and Apple tonight, but by the way, let me just turn on my do not disturb. Just so everyone's aware, that's my coffee cup today. The problem with Meta, and it's down 9%. The problem with Meta is the spend. They're showing he's got to show growth. He really has to show growth at some point in time. And that's going to be an issue. So, it is. And by the way, Larry, if you go to my, last night I put out a paid newsletter. And by the way, that is probably one of my best thumbnails I have ever done. I love that thumbnail. But I outlined there's a significant difference that I found between my top 5 holdings in my Alpha Picks portfolio and the Alpha Picks portfolio's top 5 holdings. I was shocked. Morning, Jennifer. I was shocked. But COMM, I know I've shown this chart before. COMM to me is a $22 stock. You're up 7% at $17. It hasn't opened up yet. I was just looking at this one, but it hasn't opened up yet. So the volume is probably significantly just small. You can see yesterday at 4 o'clock, the volume was huge. That's a big end of day kind of buy. If we take our 4-hour and look at it, let's just run this 4-hour algorithm. It does really well. Got you in at 14.75. Added to Alpha Picks right there. Top second half announcement back here at $5, and you're trading at 17 today. But it does have some weakness here in the market. So, good earnings. Good earnings don't always, it's going to follow the market. And when the market's up like that, it's going to be hard. But yeah, I thought this is the Instagram portion. So interesting. And by the way, I used Google AI Labs. This is Google. Google has by far, with Nano Banana, the best AI portrait maker. 4 thumbnails. I will say that. We're going to go over some stuff. And I know I've got earnings tonight, so let's bring up Earnings Hub at the end here. Because Earnings Hub, you've got tonight, Apple, Amazon, Coin, MicroStrategy, Reddit, blah, blah, blah. Congrats, Jersey. Bullish bites in the house. There was a constant theme last night. I mean, put it together. Capacity constrained. Increasing CapEx. Kind of goes well for some of these IREN, CIFR, Wolf, IBIT, Bitfarm, CoreWeave. Kind of goes well for those. I mean, again, reading the tea leaves, are they going to be up today? Probably not. You know, Meta, great call. Microsoft, my guess is Microsoft was hurt from the outage. I won't bring up the outage, but they did have an outage yesterday on their cloud. And I think that's adding to some of the loss because they were down as much as like 7%. I think they're down 2% right now, which, you know, is what it is. Another top 5 position of mine, Google, was up like 10%. It's now up 7%. A killer quarter. We will go over this. Let me see. I'm going to open that up, but I think, yeah. Well, that's just the post. So we'll look at that. You know what? We're just going to go, we'll bring this up, the front one, this one. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't have a position in that one, Ben, but you're right. I mean, I've been reading about that shareholder vote. But I don't fully understand it because I don't own the stock, so I kind of just glance at headline kind of stuff there. We are going to look at my Seeking Alpha because I want to go into the history. Okay, how do I find the history of this one? Beta. Okay, where the hell is the history? It was there. Is that it? There it is. Powell speech. This was phenomenal. Just, well, you know what? We're going to go and open this up first. This is the Alpha Picks section, and we'll open up that first because we're going to go over Alpha Picks. It'll lead into that. Open AI. I don't know, dude. Let me see. Open AI IPO. Let's see. I like this. This, you know, this might get me to pay $2,000 for the Pro. Because this, I mean, this is amazing how you can just open this up. I'm looking for an article in Seeking Alpha. And there you go. No, that was not the one. Corporate structure, that was October 28th. Expert analysis from IPO, We'll just keep that up. Why not? Earnings. We'll go over those. China. You knew this was coming. A big announcement. And then we'll go over this. All led me down a rabbit hole. I'm going to open up these 3 articles. But the AI version. This is what I asked. I just asked. I literally typed Powell speech yesterday. And Larry, it brought up this just amazing list. So let me see. Which one's this? Yeah, yield soar. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think so. We start out with that, and then we go to the bonds, and then we go here. Yeah. Okay. Led me down. Okay. All of that rabbit hole. Oh, thanks, Larry. I thought that was good. I thought it was I was shocked at that one, Larry. I was doing it just so everybody knows. So this is this is the basis for this newsletter, this Alpha Picks. So I was looking at my top 5 positions in the portfolio because I have the portfolio spread out. And I said, my top 5 positions do not match in any way, shape, or form with the top 5 holding positions that Seeking Alpha has. And so I think the first portion of this is free, so I don't mind showing this. But right there, there's a holding percentage to the right when you go into the portfolio in Alpha Picks. And I was shocked. Their number 1 holding is 11.06%, which they're going to have to trim at some point. That is up 1,149%. That's crazy. 8% is the next holding. It's a hold in the quant, but it's up 1,372%. And then 7%, 6%, blah, blah, blah. I have one that is, I think, 15% of of my total portfolio, and I didn't realize how much I had added. And then I have I will tell folks, I have a 7% cash position, which kind of shocked me. But I did do the calculation in my head, and I'm like, well, I should have a 10% because the last few times that I've purchased the buys, they were 10% of the portfolio. So it's a good newsletter. It is for paid subscribers. It's 14 minutes, so it's not very long, but I'm glad you got something out of it, Larry, because I do think, it's almost unfair of me to talk about how I manage that Alpha Picks portfolio and trading it. But you see in that newsletter exactly how I go through, and hey, here's a winner. Here's where I'm adding. Here's a loser. I don't think I went over any of the losers, but there is what I did go over. LRN, which was a loser, and I went over that yesterday for everybody with the free one, LRN. And by the way, Alpha Picks came out and said LRN fundamentals are still good. So if anybody wants to buy the dip, I mean, that's a massive dip. The 4-hour algorithm got you out with a 48.
Yes.
I've got it. I got my Wall Street bets, my diamond hands. Why does that do that? Remind me later to update. Remind me later. I'm glad you got something out of that, Larry, though. I think I do some work and I don't realize how much my thought process differs from other people's. And that's the whole reason I started the newsletter, is to go over my thought process. And sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong, but I think it gives a perspective. And again, if you're going to pay for the newsletter, you're paying to support me and just kind of appreciate what you do kind of thing. It's not, I'm not going to change the free newsletter, the free podcast. That's the life-changing stuff for me. And I got a message from somebody last night. It was funny. They've been listening for 2 years. And he was very honest, very open. And he said, when I first started listening to you for like the first 6 months, I thought all you're doing is selling. And then he bought the bundle with Alpha Picks and Premium. And he's like, wow, I've done well. Then after that, he purchased Trendspider. And he's like, listen, if those two worked as well as they show, then Trendspider's got to work. It's just the amount of effort that you want to put in. The bundle, Premium, and Alpha Picks, it's almost a no-brainer. It's no effort whatsoever. You can just go and click around the website and find exactly what you want. Trendspider takes some work. It's a lift. I know Larry. I think Larry has it. I know Ben has it. Olga has it. But it's not a must-have. And that's, I do sell it, but it's not a must-have. If you can make things work and you're happy with, your return, go ahead. And I don't say die poor to the people who don't get the tools. I say die poor to the people who don't understand that, not everybody's here to sell you something. I don't need to be here, so yeah. Vacation guy. I mean, at some point I probably need to have like a giant Zoom call where some of the folks get on and they just tell folks, hey, it's no joke. It works. Yeah. Ben, did you buy it through me or did you already have it? I know I'm going on with Mike from Trendspider today. We're doing the Apple and Amazon live today at 4. And I was messaging him and I said, he's like, what do you want me to tell people? And I said, I want you to tell people that I was a paying customer before I was an affiliate. And I've been using it for 5 years now. 5 years. So I'm an OG in Trendspider terms. There was barely a strategy ability to save the strategies. You couldn't share the strategies. There was that was honestly, Wendy, and that's the reason why I went with Trendspider, was because when I asked TradingView for help, those guys were non-existent and wanted to get me out of their chat as much as possible. Trendspider, I was like, hey, I'm trying to build a strategy and an algorithm that will help me kind of avoid COVID. And can you help? Those guys gave me so many ideas, and it was just, hey, why don't you try this? Hey, why don't you try this? Why don't you? It wasn't just, well, we don't give advice. It was try this. And it's not always going to be that way. That, if you ask a question, which stock is better on this strategy and blah, 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 they're not going to tell you. But for instance, we were, the current strategy, the 4-hour algorithm, does not use RSI. We were trying to figure out RSI, and one of the guys said, well, try stochastics. And so we tried stochastics. And I didn't know anything about stochastics at that point, and I went down a rabbit hole. I love stochastics now. Now, do I use them? No. But if I ever have a question about relative strength, I go and use stochastics. That's it. Oh, yeah. No, I will tell you, Dan, the CEO, if you don't follow Dan, go and follow Dan on Twitter. Dan Ushman. Dan Ushman was actually doing customer support when I was started early today. Yeah, his views are not Trendspiders, by the way. But Dan Ushman, far wealthier than anybody probably on this call. I mean, the guy is he's a genius entrepreneur. In fact, I need to follow him on Linktree. I don't know if I follow him. No, I want to pick my brain. Active business, Signal Stack, Lazar Capital, or early stage. Oh, he's doing angel investing. Blue Sky, I sometimes post here. Threads, I never post here. LinkedIn, I never ever post here. Let's say we're going to follow and we're going to connect. Send without a note. Dan will know me. But follow him. He's sometimes has some great trades. In fact, I think he loaded in to Palantir at like $7 or $8, and he said, "You're crazy if you don't." And then I talked to him about SMCI during that crazy run of 2023, I think, or 2024, when SMCI was really freaking running. Like, we're talking 1,000% in like a month or so. He said years ago when it was trading for less than like $1, and it went up to like almost $1,000, but it was trading at less than $1. He installed SMCI racks in a business that he was running in a call center. And he said, I knew then it was by far the best rack system that we could buy, and they could have charged us anything. And so he said, I should have bought the stock then. So, thanks, Eric. Yeah, I think when you buy Trendspider through my program, I think I give you a leg up. It's not, oh my God, I've got it all figured out. It's just I give you a starting point, whereas Trendspider, they don't want to give you financial advice. They don't want to give you strategies. They have them on their Trendspider store, so you can always import them. And I think that the hack is if you take those strategies and start working them into your daily life, meaning, 4 hours doesn't work for me. I want to be more active. Let's go down to a 65-minute. Or, hey, I don't want to deal with the 4 hours at 1:30. I've always got a Zoom meeting. Let me just go to a daily. So I think you work on those time frames and you work on those indicators. And I think, that's the hack that Trendspider brings you. So it's the same one, Ben. Honest to God, it's the same one. I don't update it. And part of why I don't think I'm a great salesperson for Trendspider is because they have so many tools that are out there and things that are just so much better than when I started. But I've got my workflow, and my workflow works for me. It's kind of like, the person who's resisting AI. AI can make things easier, but you're just kind of in your mojo. And I don't spend more than 10 minutes every morning going through charts. I don't trade every day. Just be clear. I don't trade I prepare for this show every day. And 10 minutes will get me through exactly what I need to get through for the show and, my own portfolio. So, okay, let me start I think it's the last day for Trendspider sale, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. We're going to start this out. I probably should be doing all of that stuff on the podcast, but then I'll get the haters. You're selling, douchebag. You're selling. Okay, I haven't eaten this morning, so if you hear my stomach rumbling, I'm just going to blame it on the dogs. Good morning. It is Thursday, October 30th. It's a big day for me. It's my Super Bowl because it's Apple earnings day. And if you go over to youtube.com and then at Trendspider, you will see an upcoming, an upcoming live with this one. I'll be there. I don't know why they didn't put me. They put Andy Jassy and Tim Cook up there, but I think I'm the most important guest. I will be live today at 4 p.m. On their channels, and I'm going to try and link it up to my channels. So if you're interested, go over there. We're going to talk about the Fed. We are going to talk about all the earnings, Microsoft, Meta, blah, blah, blah. We will talk about the China deal. We will also talk about OpenAI. It's kind of leaking that they may have an IPO. We'll talk about market caps because FYI, NVIDIA hit a big one and it was quick. We will talk about alpha picks. I put out a paid newsletter last night. I'll go over everything this morning, everything that's in there, and I will give you a strategy that Alpha Picks just implemented with RCL, Royal Caribbean. I'll tell you all about it. And again, we'll end with the earnings stuff. But let's just go over for the first thing. The Powell speech yesterday, Fed. Powell, he shook the markets with talk about December rate cut not being an automatic thing. The committee had differing opinions. He said, and he made the point, there's not a 100% chance of a cut. Well, the market had rate cut priced in. And the market kind of pulled back a little bit. And I wanted to see, I was looking in Seeking Alpha for the article on it. And I just went into their AI. I mean, I have AI as part of Pro. I understand it is not part of the premium, but I have AI as part of the Pro. It comes with other perks. But the AI portion of this, Jerome Powell, I just asked it, Powell speech yesterday. It gave me all the statements that he made. It also told me about the bond market, the rate expectations, equities. Stock markets initially declined but recovered with the S&P ultimately ending mixed. And cryptocurrency, significant volatility with 817 million in leveraged futures being liquidated. And again, it links to all of these articles. Key economic content, employment concerns, inflation persistent, data limitations, tariffs, and then it gave me articles on the balance sheet decision, expert analysis. Again, yields soar as traders dump bonds. I can go down this rabbit hole. I literally went down the rabbit hole. I like this. Again, I was talking about the 10-year. The 10-year climbed over 4%. Federal Reserve cuts by 25 basis point, moves to NQT. That's a big issue. You should know about that. Reaction roundup. Here's the Seeking Alpha analysts. So, Leo Nielsen today was a great example of uncertainty. Initially, the market sold off as the Fed hadn't made a formal commitment to more cuts. However, once the market realized they weren't going to commit to that anyways, buyers returned. Again, if you're looking at the market that closely, I would argue you're probably trading futures or something of that certain. Because if you have diamond hands, again, right there, diamond hands, that's my coffee mug. If you have diamond hands, you're not looking at the market in that sense. I don't think this is as big a deal as the market makes it out to be. Again, the rate cuts, they were priced in. So yesterday's rate cut, priced in. December's rate cut, priced in. The reaction was based on the rate cut being pulled out. But the market doesn't need rate cuts. The market doesn't need it. So if it comes, it's a benefit. So as you start to see, well, maybe the rate cuts are needed. Remember, we're not getting government data. And here's your crypto traders see $817 million in liquidation as Powell cautions against rate cut bets. Again, if you are liquidated, you have too much risk. That's all that means. And then what did we get? We got another known. You knew this was coming. Trump signed a deal with China. It's priced into the market. What wasn't priced into the market? That they didn't talk about Blackwell. That's what pushed NVIDIA up almost 3% yesterday. They didn't talk about Blackwell, is what they said. But the China deal, what it does do is remove uncertainty about that in the market. So it's almost like a floor. If you ever watch that game show with Rob Lowe on Fox about the floor, if they yank out the floor and people fall under, that's the market going down. As long as you have that floor underneath you, you're okay. So from a chart perspective, again, these yellow lines that I put in there, they're for me. And so I would probably move this yellow line probably up to about 610 on the Qs. Maybe it's, 606. You can see a nice little volume shelf right there. Where are we trading right now? 631. So if we pulled back to that 612, 606, somewhere in that neighborhood, then I would be looking at a buying opportunity. Again, I think you're in a buy the dip market. We don't have a lot of uncertainty, and we talked about it yesterday. Well, I talked about it yesterday. Not we. I say we in the sense of, the community. But again, I think the market is looking for certainty, and I think it's looking to move up. What's going to take it down? Nobody knows. But the reality of these monthly candles on QQQ tell me we are in a bull market until you're not. This month, just this month in QQQ, you're up 6.46%. And you've got 2 more days to go. So again, removing uncertainty from the market, that's what this does. Doesn't mean we have a deal and it's done. Just remove some uncertainty. Now, I went in, let's talk about the earnings yesterday because there were a couple of them. Google killed it. Google in pre-market was up as much as 10%. It's up 7.6%. They killed it. Meta, they killed it. There was a one-time charge. And the market still hates that they're spending so much. Zuckerberg is spending a ton. Microsoft had a one-time charge, and they're seeing a dip. Again, for Meta, I think anything under 700 is a great long-term buy. For Microsoft, if you get down near that 520 to 510 mark, I think that's a good buying opportunity. Is it perfect? No. Could we see it further go down? Yes. Google Cloud revenue went up more than anything. Search revenue was up. Again, removing risk from the market. That's what Google showed. It showed the market, hey, we can still make good search revenue. And Meta, the $16 billion one-time charge over $100 billion in CapEx spending next year. Again, overall, these earnings were a good sign. They are making enough profit to continue spending, and demand is higher than supply for AI. That is clear. We don't have enough supply of AI. That's what's clear. And so as long as these guys continue to spend and they continue to earn the money that they're earning, then you should be okay. There's never a guarantee. And I also wanted to find an article about the OpenAI IPO. So I went into Seeking Alpha and I just typed in OpenAI IPO, thinking it would lead me to an article. It didn't. It gave me a bunch of articles about OpenAI's pledge to remain in California, helps clear the path for potential IPO report. Yeah, that's yesterday. And then the corporate structure from 2 days ago. And it gave me articles. But the biggest thing was it told me OpenAI is considering filing with the security regulators as soon as second half 2026. Now, here's the thing. OpenAI very well might be a $1 trillion IPO. That would be record-breaking. A $1 trillion. Remember, it was just a few years ago that Apple became the first $1 trillion company. It quickly went to $2 trillion. We'll talk about these market caps in 1 second, but I want to focus on OpenAI because I had mentioned yesterday with the corporate structure that they did, Microsoft now owns 27% of OpenAI. That $1 trillion market cap in an IPO would boost Microsoft considerably. Again, if it comes out at 1 trillion. If you want to invest in the OpenAI IPO, invest in Microsoft. They own 27% of it. And market caps continue to break records. Okay? Nvidia became the first $5 trillion market cap company right there yesterday. First company to do it. FYI, it took 80 days to go from 4 trillion to 5 trillion. That is crazy. That's how bullish this market is. It only took 80 days. Just to give you an idea, Apple and Microsoft, they just passed 4 trillion. It took them far longer to get from 3 trillion to 4 trillion. Nvidia, people are spending on. And Wall Street still has a 10% upside target, 8%, $223. So is it worth buying it? Again, We saw in the earnings they are spending. We saw in NVIDIA day, NVIDIA is partnering with everybody. So NVIDIA is trying, and Jim Cramer, I listened to the Compound episode with Jim Cramer, and he said it really well. He said Jensen Huang is running scared. So the difference between Cisco and Intel and all of those guys that had leaders, Jensen is a founder, and Jensen doesn't want to give up his lead. And he is constantly just worried about giving up that lead. So while I own AMD, and I've been clear I own AMD as well, I still own a large portion of NVIDIA. And by the way, AMD is only 428, I say only, but it's $428 billion. It's not even $1 trillion company. So let's go over the AlphaPix stuff. Because AlphaPix sent out a newsletter last night, and they basically said, hey, there were two things in this newsletter. The first thing is Royal Caribbean, okay? It has been a hold. If we go and look at Royal Caribbean right now, it's been a hold in the quant for 180 days. That normally would take Royal Caribbean completely out of the AlphaPix portfolio, okay? But here's the caveat to this. It's one of their quote unquote winner circle. That means it's actually given back more than 100% in just over a year. But because it's 180 days, you're supposed to take it out of the portfolio. Their decision, and this isn't this is part of their systemic approach. It takes the initial portion that you put in and you take that out. So say you put $100 into Royal Caribbean a year ago. Today, it's probably worth $200 and some dollars. That's the key. You take out the $100. You don't sell the position. That's the way they are managing it. Me, I am up like 38, 40%. And I looked at it just before just last night. As I was doing the AlphaPix, I am up 30 or 40%. I'm not up 100%. Okay. It has been a hold. They go over the valuation is a bit stretched. So for me, I've got to look at that. I don't have 100% gain, but I might start to trim it. I will start to trim it as its holding percentage. So I want to hold just what they have in the portfolio. That's all I want. And they also address in this article LRN. Okay, Stride shares plunged 44% on tech rollout issues leading to lower enrollment, but strong earnings and demand suggest the sell-off could be a buying opportunity. Again, they address that. This is what's great about AlphaPix, is AlphaPix gives you everything that you need to manage the portfolio effectively. And last night, I went and did, I looked at my portfolio. I was shocked. Because my top 5 positions in this portfolio are not the holding percentage of AlphaPix portfolio. Okay, my 5 are different. So I was shocked. So I did a video about it, and I show you my top 5 positions. So go in there and you can look at it. It is a paid newsletter, so it goes down to a certain point. And then you have to pay, or you can get a free 7-day trial if you'd like. But I was shocked seeing my larger bets on positions recently have swung my top 5 positions to be different from the portfolio. But with that, I've grown the portfolio over 50% in just 1 year, whereas AlphaPix is up 44% in 1 year. By the way, the S&P like up 20 something. So I am outperforming the AlphaPix and the S&P. One of my top 5 holdings that's in the portfolio, it's up 8% in pre-market. Okay. That particular holding, I'm sorry, it's up 10%. It's 8% of my personal portfolio, but in the AlphaPix portfolio, this particular pick that is up 10% in this portfolio, it is 8% of my portfolio. It's a strong buy in the quant. It's a hack around earnings. Okay. And I went through yesterday. I went into Trendspider, and you'll see I have an AlphaPix watch list. I went in to Alpha Picks and I said, okay, what are the strong buys in Alpha Picks? And then I went into the charts and I found the earnings. See these yellow lines, this Royal Caribbean right here, that yellow line, that just means an earnings. Earnings are coming up. And I found 5 companies that are strong buys that report next week. So I created a watch list. And I'm going to see how they perform over the next few days. And if we go in with a nice little dip with these companies, I may start to take positions because we've seen it in the past. You saw ARQT I brought up yesterday, which was a huge winner. Again, earnings. Let's go over earnings because, you can talk about trimming, you can talk about that. Google, they killed it. 91 billion to 93 billion. They killed it. They're up 8% in pre-market. They just killed it. This is a stock that if you had the 4-hour algorithm, you'd be in at 247. You're trading at 295 right now. It's a good stock. The 4-hour algorithm on Trendspider, again, if you want Trendspider, this is the last day of the sale. And so when you see a stock like this, that is, I talked to a friend yesterday. He's like, I just slept on Google. Just slept on Google. This goes back to 2022 with the bottom. And I just put a trend line in there. And as it got to that trend line in June, I said, I want to buy this one. I sold some back here in April, bought it back in June. It was on that trend line. And we started to break out. You can see the Bollinger Bands. Would I buy it here? Hell no, I wouldn't buy it here. Why? Even though they just reported earnings, you're seeing this one pop. Wall Street, their price target, 286. That's still a 4% upside. But FYI, it's not going to be an upside when we open up because you're trading at 296. Let it die down. But this, it's a hold in the quant. And why is it a hold in the quant? Well, you can go into Analyze with AI, and it tells you everything. The valuation is stretched. The price to sales is 9, significantly above the sector, reflecting very expensive stock. Again, this is AI. It was just reported a few days ago. We will see what it says now because their growth is phenomenal. 13%. This is a huge company, one of the Mag 7. They grew 13% revenue growth year over year. YouTube revenue was up. Go and read. And if you don't read, load the annual report into AI. Have it summarized for you. And say, I'm a 12-year-old. Can you summarize this annual report for me? Look at previous annual reports and just go ahead and do that. Microsoft, they reported, outlines full year 2026. Expenditure acceleration as AI demand drives 80% AI capacity boost. They are killing it. Again, made more money. Their growth. Stock is down in pre-market 2%. It was down as much as like 4 or 5%. The valuation stretched. Its growth, 14% revenue growth year over year. Why is it a C minus? We'll go and analyze with AI. Remember, these are just grades. So there are reasons for those grades, but when you go and look at the growth, shows robust growth with year over year revenue over twice the sector. This indicates successful expansion and strong financial performance. It doesn't tell you why it's a C minus, but you can go and look. Free cash flow. Excuse me. Return on equity is D. So maybe those are things that the quant factors highly. Profitability, look at that. Gross profit margin, 68 freaking percent. This is a great company. I own a bunch of this. Again, a $4 trillion company. Wall Street, their average price target is 621. You are trading at 526. I will tell you, when you go over and you look at this chart and you say, ooh, 4-hour algorithm got me in here. I'm sorry, we're going to Microsoft, not Meta. My 4-hour algorithm got me in here at 521. We're trading at 527. I think a year from now, that will look like a bargain. As you're closer to this 200-day, again, a good company, the 200-day on the daily, which is what is going to drive a lot of people, it's down at 461. Where's the 50-day? 513. Look at the last few times you've had it at this 50-day. It's just trading sideways. It's a good company. And then you had Meta. Meta got killed. Okay, it's down 10%. Earnings and revenue beat, but there was a one-time income tax charge. That's what seems to be what the market is focusing on. They are guiding a little light because they expect Reality Labs, which I don't even know. I have that in my notes because I loaded in AI. This is a buy under $700. It is a buy under $700. It's right now $671. Let's go look at the chart. Okay, 4-hour algorithm had you buy on Meta at 718. 671, it's where it's trading right now. This is a buy the dip. Guess where this gap goes down to? 596. If you get down to $616, buy the dip. Why? Wall Street says Meta is worth $858. And I don't see them coming down from that because Meta just prints cash. Profitability, 81% profit margin, growth, 19% revenue growth year over year. And its valuation, you're trading 26 times forward earnings. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, they are spending a bunch. But I like those metrics versus 6 months ago. And where was it trading 6 months ago? Let's see, what's the October? So we would go back to like April. 6 months ago, it was down here at 521. I loaded into this. So what you have to do is you have to take these nuggets, excuse me, of all of the companies that are reporting, and you have to put them into a thesis. And you have to say, okay, what are the stocks that I want to buy if I don't want to buy those? What are the smaller cap stocks that I may want to buy? Well, Daniel Newman puts it out here. When I hear capacity constrained and increasing CapEx from Microsoft, Google, and Meta, I feel good about IREN, CIFR, and Wolf, and Bitfarm, BITF. So again, you put those together and you say, well, maybe these are great buys. They are risky. So make no mistake about it. IREN, which has been a great buy for me at like $17 and is now trading at $57. It was at $60 yesterday where it closed. It is stretched. But if it's long term, again, I like to buy this one when the 4-hour algorithm tells me. Did I buy at 63? No. I just have this $49 point right there. And I say, okay, as we get down to that point, I want to start buying and adding to it. CIFR, I have a strategy for this one. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but boy, there's a yellow line right there. So again, take the nuggets from all of these earnings, try and come up with companies because they are spending a ton of CapEx. Where are they putting it? NVIDIA, Celestica, Credo. Credo is the #1 semiconductor of Amazon. So again, figure things out like this, and you can try and find your best portfolio. My best portfolio, AlphaPix is beating out me. So I just add to those winners. I take what they do and I add to those winners. And what I do is I sometimes find other stocks, and that's why I suggest the bundle, Premium and AlphaPix. And then I load it all into Trendspider. It's a simple formula, rinse and repeat. And that's how I beat markets. That's how I do it. Now, am I beating the market? Full disclosure, am I beating the market this year? No. But I know why. 50% of my portfolio is Apple. So before you go and ask me, why should I listen to you? You shouldn't. 50% of my portfolio is in Apple. Year to date, this is up 7%. We can look at it. Over 1 year, it's underperforming the S&P. Over 3 years, it's just underperforming the S&P. Over 5 years, it's beating the S&P. Over 10 years, it's blowing the S&P away. And I have held this for 20 years. So if you look at this one, okay, going all the way back, if we just go back to when I put my first buy in, back down here, you can see it was around 2004, 2005. Apple was beating it. The S&P, it was beating the S&P, and then it just grew, and that expanse expanded. That's why I own it. Am I looking at year to date on this one? No, but my portfolio is doing perfectly fine. Now, again, I will be live tonight because we have earnings from Amazon, which is expected to report $1.57 per share. They actually reported last time $1.68 per share. Their estimate last time was $1.33. How does this chart look? Well, you can even go up and add Sidekick. How'd they report on earnings last time? You can go and use AI for that. I like looking at my charts. Where did we go last time? We tanked. It tanked from 230 down to 212. Where are you entering in this market? At about 230. Do we get the pump up? I don't know. Higher expectations. Maybe it pumps down. Apple, this is 50% of my portfolio. $1.75 earnings per share. What'd they report last time? $1.57. That's a big jump for a stock that is significantly up into earnings. Last time, their earnings, $207 was the price of the stock. Don't you wish you bought at $207 the last time they had earnings? Well, this time, maybe they tank. Maybe they come back down below that 260. It's an expensive stock. Go and look at the quant says, oh, it's a hold. It's been a hold for a long time. Why? Valuation and growth. Wall Street has a $256 price target on it. It's trading at $271. I'd probably be smart selling the damn thing right now. But what are they going to put in as far as their forecast? That's what's going to be. When are they getting Apple Intelligence in here? So I'll be talking about all that with Trendspider. If you have any questions, everything's on Linktree. Remember, today is the last day to get the pre-Black Friday Halloween sale from Trendspider. You can get 52 trainings per year with this. It is an unbelievable deal. And if that's not in your budget, take advantage of the 42% off on premium because you get so much more. And they are giving you the basic portion of Sidekick free for a month. Free. That's a $50 value on top of these savings. Sign up for an annual plan. Get my 4-hour algorithm. Get all of the things. We were just on YouTube Live talking with some of the folks that have signed up. They're like, yeah, best thing I ever did. And signing up through me, you get a leg up because you get my 4-hour algorithm. You get the custom watch list. You get all of the custom strategies that I have and scanners. So if you have any questions, again, everything is on Linktree. Go and check it out. I will talk to you later. Bye. Oh, I was choking there in the end. Lucas, my biggest fan. I had somebody who was shocked that they were actually emailing me yesterday. On email. I replied back on email. And he goes, holy crap, this is actually you. I said, yeah, it's me. I'm just a douche on the internet. Don't get so excited. Let's go into, I have to go to podcast new graphics. There we go. It's not new graphics. I just named it new graphics when I updated the graphics. I'm going to update the graphics again. I think I'm going to start using Restream at some point. And so the screen will get much better. It will look significantly better. I'll be able to show you the whole screen. And I probably can in OBS. I just don't want to take the time to do it in OBS. It's a big undertaking. Let's put in green screen and we're going to sync this up. There we go. Okay, and we're going to copy, paste. Boom. Export file. What are we going to name this one? I think I already have a name, yeah. this, but I don't think that's going to fit into YouTube. So I've got to probably figure out something else. Legendary douche. Apple's up 1.5%. Jesus. Okay, hold on. I'll come. You want to come in? You wanted to play ball. That's why you were out there, because you wanted to play ball. Oh boy. Okay, so what am I going to let's go to Nano Banana, and then I'm going to upload a picture. That one. Character wearing a wall trench coat in front of the Federal Reserve building in Washington with his hands in the air, celebrating, jumping up, celebrating. Let's see what this comes up with. Let's see if this can come up. Oh, I probably should have told it. YouTube. Okay, why is it not? Oh, you know what? Here. No. We're going to delete. And we're going to delete. And we're going to delete. Okay. And we're going to run new. Oh. Do upload file. Untitled design. A YouTube thumbnail of me in the photo attached wearing a Wall Street trench coat. Come on, Nano Banana. Okay. Now, move the text, make
Corey has sent, never mind, I sent out the PNG logo.
Okay.
And if they need precise one, I have an email.
Okay.
I didn't really do that.
They'll probably need to know what font.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's a custom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I'm sure he can recreate it.
It's actually, but it's the logo designer worked on it, so you might as well not wasting their time.
Yeah.
Because I can forward it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You going to teach?
Yeah. I'll be back by 1 p.m.
Okay. Perspective from further away, leaving blue sky above. Insert text. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Yeah. I have a feeling that oh, there we go. Okay. Move in a let's see. Wow, I'm using a lot of tokens. No, it did. No. I'm out of tokens. No, let's see. Let's see. It didn't do a damn thing. We'll just take this one. What the hell? Okay, and we're going to put this into Canva. And we'll say YouTube thumbnail. And which one do I like? I like this one. I like this text. So we'll delete that guy. We will insert, where's my done downloads and position to the back. We will do we're gonna move these up and group. Let's see. There we go. And We'll see what happens. Tyler. So Trendspider is it's charts. So it's charts. It's not, they do have bots that you can link up with your broker, but I actually use Fidelity and Webull. Webull is here on, where you can get Robinhood. Fidelity is just for high net worth people and people with a little bit more. I only put $1,000 into Webull. And today it's just a few years ago, I think. Today it's 14,000. 1378 because crypto's crashing. Let's see. Yeah. What's crashing is IBIT, Nvidia, Spotfiy, Tesla. They're all down. And Ethereum, ETHA. So it's all down. But I don't pay attention to that much. I got to cancel my Zoom membership. So I mean, if you're newer, I don't know that I necessarily would go out and get, these are expensive tools. I mean, Trendspider is going to cost you, I always estimated about $1,000 a year at minimum for Trendspider. You can go and check out the prices by going to the link tree. It's on the screen right there. Go and check out Trendspider. And this one is $639. So what Seeking Alpha gets you is I'm able to just look at this with the factor grades and determine a stock. Give me a stock. I mean, I will show you how I go about looking at things if you just give me a stock. I mean, let's just look at Meta. Let's look at Meta. That's a good idea. I mean, Meta. For Meta, I can see the quant says it's a hold, but Wall Street says it's strong buy. And I look at this factor grades and I see the valuation is the only thing that's really kind of highlighted as bad. And so I go and look at it from 3 months ago. The growth has gotten better. From 3 months ago, the 6 months ago, the valuation's gotten worse. But everything else has gotten better from 6 months ago. Then I can go and analyze it with AI. And I can look down and I can see, okay, their competition, Alphabet, Microsoft, Apple. I own all three of those. And then you go down and you take a look at the positives and negatives. You can look at that. And that's updated usually about once a week for most of the stocks that I follow. That AI, I can see in communication services, it's ranked 11 out of 60. What's the ones that they like? AREN, CH. These are much stronger on the quant level. But if I just look at it from down here, SOPA, SOPA, this one doesn't have a great quant rating, but it is up 141% in the last month. So again, it'll lead you down rabbit holes to find stocks that you've never even heard of. This is Society Pass, a $17 million market cap. Some people's net worth probably on this call, on this show right now, have more than 17 million in market cap. I know if you add a few people to my network, we're over $17 million and more. Wall Street, strong buy, but it's only one analyst. So you can see exactly how it'll lead you down. You can see all of the top stocks that they rank, top ETFs. You have a stock screener with all of the screeners that they have. You can set up your own portfolios. So Seeking Alpha just does a great job. Now, what this bundle adds in is Alpha Picks. So when you subscribe to Alpha Picks, you get this over here. I can't go in there because it's proprietary and they tell me not to go in there. But it's a portfolio with two stocks, one on the 1st and one on the 15th. And what I do is I take these ratings and I take these news items and I take those stocks that I find and I go over to Trendspider and I use my 4-hour algorithm to try and find entries and exits. You don't need these tools. There's no tutorial on setting this up. I do have, if you go to my YouTube channel, you're on YouTube. So just go to my YouTube channel and go to the playlist, tools I use, Trendspider and Seeking Alpha. And there's a whole playlist of things that I think are pretty good. So I like it. I mean, again, this is one, how to use, make Trendspider to make you a better trader. This is a great video. Now, it's from years ago, so it does look quite different. It looks quite different. But he shows you how to set up a strategy, shows you how to set up your charts, everything. It's a good tool to learn how to use. So, Tyler, I would send you over there. I use Trendspider. Can I buy a stock if long signal was 1 week ago, or do you only buy when the signal first comes? No. So, Keo, that's where sometimes, like, let me see if there's a stock here. I'm trying to think of one that I bought recently where the trigger was a while ago. I can't think of one recently. But usually on ones where, like for instance, let's just go over Disney. Disney has a great performance, 83% on the 4-hour algorithm, but it only wins 27% of the time. It is skewed by this one big 42% gain. It is skewed in the last 24 months because, again, out of positions 26, it wins 27% of the time. But its average win is 16%. So it's skewed by that one. So, for instance, if I wanted to buy Disney, would I have bought at this 111? I think my take would be, hey, it's probably good to buy even here at 114. I don't mind buying that one. CLS is a good example, I think. CLS. During this run at 77, I think I bought here at 112 because it pulled back. So if you want to stick to the performance in the chart there, then yeah, you kind of have to buy at those prices and get out at those prices. But I use it as a guide. It's never an absolute. Now, if I'm looking to add to a position like IBIT or ETHA or BMNR, those are ones I just go out and buy. I just go and buy them. So it's a little different that way. Let's see. We are going to make sure we have Trendspider in here. Can't really put anything in the building. That's the problem. We're going to make sure we have Seeking Alpha, and we'll put that in. You love SPLG. I don't think this one's not going to get that great of a reaction, I don't think. Magic Media. Graphics. Let's see. Green arrow that swoops like a hockey stick from bottom left to upper right. Let's see. Doesn't meet your policies. What? Let's go and look at here. Graphics. They probably have one that I can use. I like that one. Okay, and we'll take the color and we'll say green, and then we'll swing it around. And, oh, okay, if I'm going to do that, let's just put this one over here. And there we go. That'll have to do. AVGO, let's see. AVGO. I don't think that's a bad buy. Down 2%. I mean, there's my sold. Bought, sold. Mother effer. The risk, I think a year out, you're probably looking at a good buy on AVGO. That's definitely not a short-term one. It would take a lot for me to buy AVGO just because I have so much NVIDIA, so much Credo, so much AMD. So I'd probably think, okay, between QQQ and stuff like that, I probably have enough AVGO. But because I have XLK, I mean, how much Broadcom is in XLK? 5%. QQQ. Broadcom 5%. Let's see, what other ETFs do I have that might have it? No. What's that one? What's the one that I have? Hold on, I gotta look at this up. I don't even know the name of it, the symbol. It's a good ETF. Wow, I'm only down 0.07. Wow. Oh, it's because Apple's so far up. That's why. Let's see, portfolio. And then I go down to my retirement accounts. IGM. IGM is the one. Tech sector. Broadcom, 7%. So, yeah, I have Meta. I own a shit ton of Meta. I bought Meta. I like Meta. I mean, buy the dip on. I'll be buying the dip on Meta for sure. I mean, it's already up, green today from the open, but it's down 10%. I'll be buying this dip. I didn't buy at 718. I bought Keo, just so you know, back here 521. I loaded it. So, I mean, I've got 6 figures of Meta just based on that buy. I think I own some other, let's see. Meta, where is my Meta? I think I own it. There it is. I am up 38% on Meta, which is a good 5-figure gain. More than I made in my my first job. By far, almost double what I made in my first job. So, and I've taken profits on it too. Okay, I'm out of here. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I got to finish this up. I will see you at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. See you, bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell.